Hi, Misfits. This is Kevin.
And this is Kate.
Welcome to Horrorwood. Bling, bling, bling.
That's the music. Okay.
Oh, right. Bling, bling.
I thought you were doing like an extra intro, and I was like, what is bling,
What does
bling?
bling mean?
We're outside my peak hours,
It's
so
okay.
I don't have any segue from bling, bling.
Hey, that's okay. And we can just plow forward.
Yes. You
we-
should also...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to tell the listeners that you should also be plowing forward and getting tickets to the live show
Good
if you
segue.
haven't already. And if you are hoping to come, because at the time of this recording, there are only about 30 tickets left. So get them.
Grab them up now. Go to bit.ly/horrorwood and come see our show on Friday, October 25th at 7:30 p.m. at the Venus Cabaret Theater on Southport here in Chicago, Illinois. We look forward to seeing you there, Misfits.
I have to say, Kevin did not have that written down. He just rolled
Fired it
that
out.
off.
Fired it out.
Amazing. You know what else we need to fire out? Our new Patronians. So we have 3 that we are going to shout out right at the top here. 3 new Misfit Murderinos. Thank you so much to Colin Spencer.
Colin Spencer.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. And Erin Carlson, who we shouted out last week for her podcast, Stars of the Golden Age, and then she became a Misfit Murderino. So, Erin, you're getting a second shout out.
Yes, that's amazing.
Thank you so much for supporting us. And then lastly, Dawn Carrer, who did something I didn't even know was possible, but she pledged more than what our top tier is.
That's amazing.
So, Dawn, thank you.
Dawn.
Oh, my God.
Love you so much. Thank you for listening.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate your support. And honestly, could not do this podcast if it weren't for all of you listening. So thank you.
Love you all. Thank you for listening.
What are we going to listen to today?
Well, Kate, we have some nice, spooky, fun stories.
I love it.
Stories with an S, because I got 2 for you.
Ooh.
Today we're talking about actual ghosts seen in the media.
I love actual ghosts.
I love them too. Hello, Portal. So, including in movies and television. Now, there's a ton of paranormal shows out there.
Sure.
We all know this.
We know those shows.
Oh, we do. Kate's been to a museum about it.
I
Or
have.
from it.
I've been to a museum about shows.
How amazing. But no, I mean, I love paranormal TV shows, but it feels like a lot of the time people are just running around in the dark screaming and being like, it's cold.
Yeah.
I feel a presence.
Did you see that? Did you just
Did you
see that?
fucking see it?
Guys, this is our second recording of the day.
We had a big break in between where we were just working on stuff.
Like, Kevin had his headphones on working on stuff. I had my headphones on working on stuff. And we're just sitting at the computers blah. So we are both a little bit wily.
Wily and wild. Anywho, so there are plenty of ghost videos out there, but I'm going to talk today about 2 instances where a ghost might have been caught by accident.
Oh.
These are the stories.
These are the days of our lives.
Oh my God, I love Days of Our Lives, especially when Marlena was possessed.
Okay, sorry about it. Have never seen it.
That's okay.
Okay, who the fuck's Marlena?
My mom and her mom, my grandma, were all into Days of Our Lives. It was like a passed down thing. They would be like at 1:00. My grandma would be like, I'm going to watch my stories.
Got it. Yes, the stories.
Stories.
My college roommate, who's also a Patreon, hi Erin.
Hey Erin.
Loved herself some Days. And she'd be like, as soon as she would get out of class, she's like, I gotta go back to the dorm. I got Days.
Oh my God. There was a short-lived one on ABC. I think it was ABC or NBC, but it was called Passions.
Oh, I remember
And
the
it
name of
came
that.
on after Days of Our Lives, and it was wild.
Yeah, I heard about Passions.
There was a witch, and then there was Timmy, and then just all of this crazy stuff. And I met the guy who played Luis, whose name is Galen Gary. I went to a mall signing in Charleston, West Virginia, where he was.
I love that.
And
for
it was
you.
me and a bunch of like 40, 50, 60-year-old moms. And me as a 13-year-old in my little pumpkin sweater.
Yes.
And when I got up to that table, he looked at me like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, I like the show. I still have that picture.
I'm obsessed.
I love him. You are my passion for life.
Is that the theme music?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Anywho, I apologize. Today we're talking about 3 men and a baby and the ghost seen on screen and the monk of Morley Old Hall.
Wow, that was a lot of words.
It's a lot of words, a lot of names. So let's start with 3 men and a baby.
I liked this
Did you
movie.
see it?
Of course I
Okay.
saw it.
I liked it too. I saw it a long time ago.
Did you see 3 Men and a Little Lady?
No.
Oh, that was the sequel.
I stopped at the first one.
Oh, okay. Fair.
The only 3 men and a thing in a title I want to see.
Whoa,
these
just
days.
stop. That's
So-
for the later show.
That's for Horrorwood After Dark.
Yes.
So it's a 1987 comedy about 3 bachelors, played by Tom Selleck, Steve Guttenberg, and Ted Danson, who suddenly find themselves taking care of a baby girl. The movie was directed by Leonard Nimoy.
What? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Leonard. And was written by Caroline Sorrow, James Orr, and Jim Cruikshank. The movie was produced by Disney and Touchstone Pictures and distributed in the United States by Buena Vista Pictures Distribution.
We just talked about Disney and Touchstone in the Patreon
We
episode.
did. We did.
Not so great things going on.
Nope. So this movie hit theaters on November 25th, 1987, 2 days after I was born.
Hey.
The movie was filmed between April 20th and June 26th of 1987 in Toronto and Manhattan.
Okay.
3 Men and a Baby is a remake of a 1985 French film called 3 Men and a Cradle.
I didn't know that.
And it was a huge hit. I'm talking about the 1987 American version.
Okay.
I don't know about the French version because I didn't look that up.
Because you hate the French.
So this movie made $167 million worldwide.
That is a lot for 1987.
Yeah, a ton. And was the budget was an estimated $11 million. It was the top grossing movie of 1987.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
you had Tom Selleck, so you had Magnum P.I.
Yep.
You had Ted Danson. Was Cheers happening yet? He was in something else before that.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember, though. Steve Guttenberg was been that. So, yeah, you had 3 big names.
Big names at the time. And even still. So it even won the People's Choice Award in 1988 for Favorite Comedy and top box office films from the ASCAP Film and Television Music Awards.
All right.
Random. So let's break down the plot real quick. Peter, Michael, and Jack are all bachelors enjoying their lives in New York.
Mhm.
Things change when a baby named Mary shows up at their apartment with a note revealing that Jack is the father.
Uh-oh.
Jack is out of town, so Peter and Michael are stuck figuring out how to take care of the little baby. To make matters worse, they accidentally mix up the baby with a package of heroin that some drug dealers are after.
Why would you do that, guys? You gotta check. Is
Is
this a baby or is it heroin?
Over time, Peter and Michael get the hang of taking care of Mary and even grow to love her.
Of course
When
they do.
Jack returns, the real father, he denies that it's his. He's like, "That's not my baby. I don't love it," and throws it over his shoulder. I'm just kidding.
Wow. So when I said we're wily, we are wily.
And that's great. Yes. So the 3 men band together to take care of Mary, protect her from the drug dealers, and eventually embrace their new lives as guardians.
Did anyone call child services or like the police to find the mom?
Well, I'm not going to give away the entire plot.
Okay, because I don't remember it. So
If you do, I mean, the mom does come back.
Okay.
Eventually, and things work out.
I just love that, like, here's a baby, it's yours, and you're like, no, it's not, but I guess I'll just take care of it.
Right. I remember sitting on a plane once, and this mom next to me just handed me her baby.
No.
And I just imagined, like, I was so afraid I was going to drop him.
Yeah.
That I was holding him really tight and he started to cough because I was like...
And then he turned this weird shade of blue.
And then he died. No, that's awful. I just imagined if she handed it to me and then I just handed him to the next person.
I wonder what she would have done.
So right as this movie hit theaters, people started to notice something rather spooky going on in the background of the movie. Apparently, in one of the movie scenes between Ted Danson and his mother, played by Celeste Holm, a ghostly apparition can be seen. The scene in which the child appears is about an hour into the movie. Ted Danson and his mom are in the house fawning over little baby Mary, and the mother picks her up and is walking through the room. Danson is walking alongside her, and then you see the flash of a young boy in the background.
I kind of feel like I remember hearing about this, but I don't remember any details. But it's kind of starting to ring a bell.
Yeah. So it's seemingly like staring at them through the curtains.
Ooh.
It's kind of a flash. You see it in passing.
Okay.
It's a very quick shot as the camera pans across the room. And honestly, like, the movie came out in 1987, but truthfully, people didn't really start noticing the ghost until after the movie was released on VHS.
Okay.
And people could really, like, focus on pause,
rewind.
Look around, all of those things. And then Los Angeles radio station KLOS reported it to the public on Friday, August 24th, 1990. Which caused a big rush for the movie.
Well, sure.
Of course it would.
Listen, if I'm going to make a movie, I am 100% saying there's a ghost in it. And I'm going to make sure the press is all over that shit.
Oh, 100%. This sent everyone into a tizzy. And it was just prior to when the sequel was about to come out.
Of course it was.
3 Men and a Little Lady.
Hey.
Yeah, that was about to be released. So people were talking about it nonstop, and the news outlets were running stories.
Sure.
Everyone wanted to know, was this actually a ghost? And who was it?
Who is the little boy?
Who's the boy? The rumors started to fly about the ghost. Some people reported that it was the apparition of a 9-year-old child that had committed suicide.
Oh, God. That's horrible.
Yeah. There were 2 versions of the rumor that I could find.
Okay.
One was that he had thrown himself from an upper story window of the house.
Oh, my goodness.
And the other that he had shot himself with a shotgun.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I think because he was seen standing by the window is why people thought maybe he had jumped or fell out of the window. The shotgun theory was created because you can see a rifle... you can see a ruffle in the curtains in the scene. Like, you can't see much behind the curtains, like, aside from the face and, like, the general outline.
Okay.
And people thought that maybe he had some kind of weapon behind there. I will say that you can't really see much of what's behind the curtain, but immediately prior to this scene, one of the characters is seen holding a rifle. So that had everyone thinking that it was a sign that the boy died from a gunshot.
Wow, people really be jumping to some conclusions here.
Really jumping, reaching, and spreading. I don't know what spreading is. Don't do that.
It didn't sound good.
No, I'm sorry. It was thought that the movie had been shot in a house that was haunted, vacated by the grieving family of the boy. Then the studio took it over to shoot the movie following the awful tragedy. Not true.
Okay.
We'll tell later.
Got it.
Video stores at this time were overrun with people like, I need to see this movie.
Yeah. God, remember video stores?
I know. I remember Dave's Video in Parkersburg, West Virginia. And you would go in, and each movie had a little round chip token hanging underneath it with a number on it. And you would grab that token, take it to you grab all the tokens of the stuff you wanted to rent.
Okay.
Take it to the front. They'd get you your movies, and then you would rent them.
I love it.
I miss that.
I do too.
So yeah, video stores overrun. This was early internet days, so you couldn't just log on to something and find that picture. Now you can search, click, boom, and whoop, there it is.
Whoop, there it is.
Is that what he's saying? I always thought he was saying, whoop, that ass.
That ass?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's there it is.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Whoop, that ass.
But that's what I'm going to start saying.
Oh, shit. Disney officials quickly brushed it off. They were like, nah, no, it's not a ghost. It's a cardboard cutout of something.
Okay, I remember this. Yes.
So in an article from the Associated Press by Teresa Lee, she quotes Ryan Bicknell, who was an operations manager of Bicknell Music Plus in suburban Marina del Rey, saying, quote, "Everybody who's walked into the store today wants this movie. All of that store's copies were rented out. This same article couches..." I didn't mean to write couches. I meant to say quotes.
Okay.
But I don't know why couches would come up as...
It wouldn't.
We're not going to ask questions. This same article quotes another video store employee in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Named John Roop.
Roop, there it is.
Roop, that is. Oh, shit. Oh my God.
Wow.
He said, quote, "I was never a firm believer in ghosts or anything, but I'll tell you the truth. It made my hair stand up on my arms." Movie viewers from Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, Los Angeles, Utah, Vancouver, all over the country started calling Disney's video division.
Oh. Dang.
Hounding them about the ghost. Spokesman for Buena Vista Home Video, Steve Feldstein, was fielding the rumors and insisting that the figure was not a ghost, but again, as previously mentioned, a cardboard cutout. Ted Danson's character in the movie is an actor. He plays an actor. And the cutout was essentially part of a storyline that didn't make it into the final cut of the movie.
Oh, okay.
Danson's character Jack had appeared in a dog food commercial where a cardboard cutout was created of him wearing a tuxedo and a top hat. The cutout does make it into another scene when Jack, Ted Danson, is standing next to Sylvia as she comes to reclaim the baby.
Okay.
Mama.
Got it.
Disney explained the prop and said that it was an editing mistake that made it into the film, but also if Danson's character had this cutout, it makes sense that it's in his home, like where things are happening. I've looked at the photos, and actually, Kate, I can go back and forth because to me, they do show the cutout in another photo, and it definitely looks like Ted Danson, but when I look at the clip from the actual movie, it doesn't look like it to me.
Ooh, I need to see this photo.
You can definitely, it has some of the same colorings. I don't necessarily see a top hat or anything, but yeah, they don't look exactly the same to me. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, that's fucking creepy.
Right?
It's supposed to be Ted Danson?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, if you look up Ted Danson tuxedo cutout, maybe it'll come up. Do you see that picture of him with it? Because to me, it doesn't look like that.
Okay, it gave me a lot of men that are not Ted Danson. Okay, it's interesting.
Yeah, there are absolutely similarities between the two.
Yes.
But to me, I just don't fully see the way it's positioned and the size and the clarity of it.
Yeah, Something seems different.
Something seems different. Thank you.
It's weird. I will say that. It's weird.
Yeah. A lot of people kind of said that too. They were like, yeah, but it doesn't super match. In that same article from the Associated Press, Aaron Chu of Movies and More in Los Angeles said, "It doesn't look like a ghost. There's no third dimension to the figure."
Are ghosts three-dimensional all the time?
We'd have to talk to Aaron about what he thinks a ghost.
No, we have to talk to the ghosts.
We have to talk to them.
Give me a ghost.
Underneath the portal,
Don't summon anything. Do not be summoning demons in this closet. I cannot take it. I'm already stressed enough.
Okay, my bad. I bring out some sage and we just quickly do a quick thing. So movie viewers also connect the supernatural moment in the movie to the film's director, Leonard Nimoy, who had a history of sci-fi entertainment, of course being Spock in Star Trek, and former host of a documentary series called In Search Of, which explored strange phenomena. But another video store owner, this Associated Press article talked to every video store owner in the entire United States. Teresa, great reporting. For the Associated Press.
Good job.
She talked to Tony Hustler. Tony Hustler, who had another video store in Pittsburgh, thought it was real and some kind of freak of nature or something is what he said. Okay. Not what I wrote. He said that the faces on stand-ups, which cutouts, are always very clear. And even when they show Danson's cutout, you can easily make out the face of that cutout. They're designed that way. Yeah. But the standout scene behind the curtains is blurry and you can't make out the face, but the body is more pronounced. So, what's going on there?
Yeah.
In an article from Snopes, they say that the standout in the famous scene looks smaller than the one in the later
Way
scene.
smaller. I mean, again, you can't really tell with like what the depth perception is.
Exactly,
like,
because of the angle and distance of the shots.
Yeah.
They don't really know. And the curtains cover up the arms as well. But the curtains are kind of sheer, so I don't know. However, one thing we haven't mentioned is that the movie wasn't shot in a house. A majority of it was shot on a soundstage in Toronto. So the whole grieving family, child suicide, nah. That's just some shit people made up.
That's a nope.
Snope. Tom Selleck appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon in 2017 and talked about this urban legend.
Okay.
He said, quote, "This was a big deal for video sales and all, and maybe Disney made it up."
I mean,
the story,
I wouldn't put it past them.
I know. The story was that this kid died in the house where we shot the movie, this little boy, Selleck says to Fallon, but we shot on a soundstage. They built a set and all. I saw it, and it looks a little spooky, but the story is ridiculous.
I mean, it does seem like a stretch.
Yeah. But even so, in the same clip that Selleck and Fallon are talking, like, he shows him the back-to-back, like, the Ted Danson cutout and the boy, and even Selleck's like, well, those are kind of different. So...
So what do you believe, Selleck?
What are you saying, man? Actress Margaret Collin, who plays Rebecca, Selleck's girlfriend in the movie, backed him up during a segment of Entertainment Weekly. She said, quote, "For years, people believed there was a ghost on the set of 3 Men and a Baby. Spoiler alert, it's not a ghost. It's a cutout of Ted Danson in a tuxedo. Rent the movie again. See it for yourself. Go ahead." She was just like over it.
Yeah, sounds like it.
In an article by Courtney Enlow for Sci-Fi Wire, they state, quote, "Here's the thing about life before the internet. We were all super gullible. That meant falling prey to more than one's fair share of cinematic urban legends. The most prevailing and also the most bonkers bananas nonsense is the ghost boy of 3 Men and a Baby. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society, I call this story, That Time We Couldn't Tell We Were Looking at Ted fucking Danson. Blows baby formula into a fire." I was laughing you were editing, but I was like laughing so hard at that quote. Because if you've seen Are You Afraid of the Dark, she's like, and then she blows.
Here's the thing, though. We're still really gullible as a society.
Yeah.
And now there's just so much more at our fingertips to be gullible about.
That we can't distinguish what's real from what's not.
Exactly.
And, yeah, awful. So it seems as though this was completely debunked, but damn, it's a good urban legend.
Again, if it were my movie, there's a fucking ghost in it.
It's still a thing. Like,
Yeah.
there are articles, recent articles about this.
Interesting.
3 Men and a Baby has lived on in infamy and is a popular movie. There have definitely been talks of other sequels and different iterations. Hallmark Channel did their own...
You love a Hallmark
Channel. A Hallmark Christmas movie. Hallmark Channel did their own version of the story, 3 Wise Men and a Baby.
Oh, I feel like I heard about that.
Yeah, and Margaret Collin, who I just quoted, who was in the original, starred in this one as well.
Amazing.
Yeah. Go Hallmark is what I wrote. A reboot starring Zac Efron is in the works at Disney, directed by Maurice Marable, and written by Will Reichel. According to IMDb, the movie is currently still in pre-production.
Okay.
From what I could find, I think this project has been in development since 2020 or maybe earlier.
Oh, wow. I bet COVID derailed it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Funny fact, and this is random, nothing to do with the baby story, but I watched that interview with Tom Selleck, and it was really funny. Annie Leibovitz took the picture for the poster for 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh, uh-huh.
And the pee on Tom Selleck's shirt in that picture is real piss.
Ew.
The baby he was holding peed, and Annie was like, no, hold still. So Tom's reaction is genuine in that picture.
Amazing.
Super crazy. All right, Kate. Well, that is the story of the 3 Men and a Baby ghost.
Great.
The little boy who never lived in a house, but who died.
Or did he?
Or did he? All right. So now we're going to dive into another story about the Morley Old Hall TV ghost.
Okay. I know nothing about this.
Neither did I. And I found this on a Reddit message board, which led me to a book from 1966, which led me to the actual thing, which led me to the Norfolk County, England website, there's only like 2 articles on this.
Wow.
I really had to stretch to find info on this.
Yeah.
But I think I did.
Okay.
And I read the chapter of that book.
Okay.
On Google Books, which we'll link in the show notes.
Sure.
I'm itchy.
Ew.
Ew. I had a math teacher in middle school, and I'm not going to say her name, but Brittany, who's on our Patreon, will know about this.
Okay.
Or Katie, too. But she would teach, but she always was scratching.
I don't like that.
We didn't either. I was trying to learn pre-algebra.
I mean, unless she had a skin condition.
But it was...
No. Oh, what?
It was down there.
What?
Yeah.
What are you doing, teacher?
We never knew.
Oh, God. Okay. I mean, again, maybe she had a condition, but like, go to the bathroom.
Pre-algebra and jock itch. Who knows?
Yikes.
That's going to be the title of my memoir. All right, let's talk about this Old English.
Let's talk about this Old English.
Morley Old Hall is nestled within a stunning Norfolk estate. Okay, we're going to take that back.
Okay.
Morley Old Hall is nestled within a stunning... No. Third time, Kate. It's the third time. Morley Old Hall is nestled within a stunning Norfolk estate.
So I taped a girl yesterday who... She went to Cincinnati Conservatory of Music.
Oh.
And she said, I had a professor there that told us, if you can't get it in 3 takes, go back and do the work.
So I guess we'll come back later to finish this story. I got through 3 Men and a Baby.
You did.
But the Morley Old Hall TV ghost.
It's really tripping you up.
I'm going to change the wording here and say Morley Old Hall is nestled within the stunning county of Norfolk, England, which is on the east coast of the country. There we go. Fuck the word estate. And I just said it fine.
Yep.
The manor is listed as Elizabethan Grade 1. I will tell you what that means in a second.
Because you see my face go, what?
What?
There's numbers?
Yes. And is surrounded by an Anglo-Saxon moat. And it feels like something out of a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Grade 1 means it's a building in the UK that's considered to be of exceptional national architectural and historical importance.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Morley Old Hall was likely built in 1545 by Sir Jonathan Sedley for the Sedley family.
Okay.
Sedley was architect to Henry VII and VIII.
Oh, wow. That's a big job.
That's a big job. So most of what stands today is from the late 1500s.
Okay.
It has unique windows with brick decorations and 2 dormer windows with stepped roofs, I should say, like...
Oh, okay.
The house also has an old chimney with a medieval toilet feature.
There's a toilet in the chimney?
The house also has an old chimney with a medieval toilet feature. That's what it says, yeah.
Toilet.
I don't know that there's a toilet in the chimney. Also, Kate, this is England. So
and they be
toilet,
doing crazy
those
shit.
Words. Or they're taking shits in the chimney.
I like to think it's the latter.
Think it's that. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
And that's why it's haunted.
It makes a lot of sense now.
The house also has a original wooden staircase.
Leading up to the toilet and the chimney, because you're going to need stairs to get up there.
I'm building a house like this. Excuse me, I have to go to my toilet in the chimney.
Clop, clop,
Clop, clop, clop, clop. Oh, my back.
I love that you give yourself back problems in your fantasy
I'm just
home.
being real. So there's a curved boundary between Besthorpe and Morley parishes. These are the land parishes next to each other.
Okay.
Which suggests there was once a medieval deer park nearby. Possibly linked to Morley Old Hall, but maybe not. It's just in that surrounding land area. Close by is Morley Manor, which is a timber-framed building that was built in stages, starting in the 1500s, expanded in the 1600s, and updated with brick in the 1700s. The east wing might have been used as a courthouse, while the west wing housed the steward of the house, who took care of everything.
Got it.
Today, this house still stands. Portia Robson leads the effort to preserve and share the estate as a holiday retreat and a unique venue for weddings and events.
Oh, fun.
Portia fell in love with Morley Old Hall instantly, seeing it as the perfect country home, especially with her husband's passion for Tudor history. Restoring the hall was a huge challenge, and the deadline for their own wedding in 2018 added pressure. She was like, I love this place. I'm going to buy it. I want to get married here first.
Damn.
She's like, me first. And
ambitious.
Then everyone else. Yes. Though they just managed to get the basics done in time, the event sparked the idea to turn it into a wedding venue. So they were like, oh, this can work as like
a moneymaker.
A moneymaker, yeah. Over the next year and a half, Portia transformed the estate, renovating old stables and cottages into 8 guest rooms, turning a barn into a honeymoon suite.
If any man said, babe, we're going to have our honeymoon in this barn, I'm out.
Really?
Here's the ring. Thank you, sir.
Oh, no.
Have a good day.
But I'm sure it's beautiful.
I'm sure there's hay and manure.
I think they renovated it to be like a pretty... I've seen renovated barns. I worked in a renovated barn for a summer. Barn turned theater. It still stunk.
See what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah, fuck it. So they transformed this whole place. They made it into what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
It had a bar, a lounge, more. There's all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah.
If you want to get some big hopping event space.
I mean, honestly, I want to go.
I kind of do too. The estate now offers a blend of history and charm for their guests to enjoy. But there are stories about hauntings at Morley Old Hall. The place has a history, especially the ghost known as the Lady in the Window.
I'm sorry, what movie is this in? Like, what?
We'll get to it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay. I was like, did I miss something?
No. We'll get there.
Got it.
Especially, I said that, as the Lady in the Window. She's a Tudor woman that has consistently been seen standing in the windows from onlookers outside of the home. Some have even recalled feeling her presence while staying in the house. She is well known and speculated to be Anne Shelton, daughter of one of the great supporters of Mary Tudor. She's a ghostly woman wearing a mantilla, which is a traditional veil or shawl.
Okay.
So, here's the connection to media. In August of 1964, Anglia TV decided to film a documentary at Morley Old Hall in Norfolk. This was a special about hauntings and ghost watches.
Okay.
They didn't expect what happens next.
Ooh.
The hall, a grand old 16th century manor surrounded by that moat.
That
hot
moat
shit,
there.
had long been rumored to be haunted. And to get to the bottom of it, they brought in Anthony Cornell, a parapsychologist known for being a big skeptic guy.
Okay.
Cornell's investigations concluded that there was no ghost, but the ghost had other plans.
They usually do.
They always do. After the episode aired, 5 people quickly contacted Anglia TV, saying they'd seen a hooded monk standing between Cornell and the interviewer, Michael Robson.
What?
Robson, curious, rewatched the footage and decided to broadcast it again, this time asking viewers to write in what they saw, because he didn't really see anything.
Okay.
The response was wild. 27 people wrote in, with 15 claiming they saw a monk or priest, and one even describing a hooded skull.
A hooded skull?
Yes.
Like it's not a face, it's a skull?
Skull under a hood.
Oh.
But other people saw a bearded monk.
Wild. Okay.
Right? So years later, the Society for Psychical Research looked at the footage again. One of their spokespeople recalled Morley Hall was chosen for its spooky atmosphere. The place was being restored, and Tony Cornell was asked to demonstrate how to investigate paranormal activity.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because Tony, who of course was a skeptic, became part of this legendary ghost sighting, but he didn't see it.
That's so
they
weird.
didn't see it while they were standing
Yeah.
there.
And he didn't see it when he rewatched the footage.
No, he didn't. But only these select, some people did and some people didn't.
Okay.
So in March of 1969, Cornell and his colleague wrote about the event in a journal, calling it a ghost on television. They argued that the monk everyone saw was likely an illusion created by patterns on the stone wall behind them. But viewers were certain they'd seen something supernatural.
Yeah.
Mrs. G.D. Hayden from Bromham said both she and her daughter clearly saw the figure of a priest standing behind Cornell.
Ooh.
Another couple, Mr. and Mrs. Carter from Lincolnshire, described the monk as very clear, and Mrs. Carter even drew a picture of it. Other viewers shared similar spooky stories. Elvira Panetta from Norwich described seeing a monk with a beard and raised hands looking through a window.
Ew.
While Nora Kay from Suffolk said the figure at first looked like a skull, but then morphed into a creepy face with a sinister grin.
I can handle a skull, and I can handle a face. I don't think I could handle a skull morphing into a face.
I don't think I could either. After the rerun, more and more people wrote in, convinced they'd seen a ghost of a monk. Interestingly, before this, the ghost rumored to haunt Morley Hall was supposed to be the beautiful lady in the window.
Yeah, what happened to her?
So that's the thing. Like, she is what Morley Hall is known for.
Mm-hmm.
Some believed the monk seen by viewers was actually the ghost of Alexander de Langley, a prior person from the area who had gone mad and supposedly committed a horrible crime at the hall. What the crime was, I couldn't find out, but it might have been murder because he was chained up and died that way after going mad.
Oh, goodness.
So a few years after the TV incident in 1966, American paranormal investigator Hans Holzer, along with author Ruth Plant and her friend, held a vigil at the hall to see if they could detect the female ghost, the lady in the window.
Mm-hmm.
Though the night passed without anything major happening, Mrs. Plant did say she felt the presence of someone beautiful, urging her to look out the window. Her friend, on the other hand, reported hearing heavy breathing and the sound of a dress rustling. Whatever the truth, Morley Old Hall definitely left its mark as one of Norfolk's most mysterious haunted places. It's interesting because the people who were involved in that documentary went back and watched it and they can't see it.
Yeah.
But people wrote in the first time they showed it and said they saw it, and they reran it, and then a whole slew of new people wrote in saying that they saw it as well. But I don't think they announced it to the public, what people were saying.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, there was nothing else out there about that I could find that they had said, oh, there's all this, there weren't any reports of that. It was people of their own accord being like, what was that thing I saw behind you?
Weird.
I watched the video.
Okay.
It was hard to find. And I don't even know if this is the right thing, but it seemed like it was. Because they were at Morley Old Hall. It's with Anthony Cornell.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone interviewing him in front of a set of, cutout windows. So I'm assuming that's where it was seen. And I watched it over and over again to try to see if I didn't see anything. But again, This is a video from 1966. I don't know where this is from. I just found it randomly on the internet. I'll link it in the show notes if you want to watch it and see if you see anything.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, but it seems to be cut off at one. It's 18 minutes and then it cuts off right after the windows.
Okay.
So I don't know. Some say that this experience inspired Ghost Watch, the mockumentary we covered.
Yes.
If we were having a whole episode on Ghost Watch, go listen to that. But they think that was never mentioned in the research I did for Ghost Watch, but I could see how it would inspire, that story. And those are my 2 stories, Kate.
Fun.
Yeah.
It was wily. It was spooky. I'm going to watch that video.
Yes.
I'm going to look for the skull man with the hood.
The monk.
As long as he doesn't morph, I'm good to go.
Great.
And we're good to go here.
Yeah.
So let us know what you thought in the comments. If you have any spooky stories of your own, send them in, please.
Please send them in. It's spooky season. We'd love to do a reader story.
Get those stories in. We have a couple. We need more. Send them.
You have them. I know you do.
So you can send those stories in. We're going to go in a little different order at
horrorwoodpodcast@gmail.com. I got you.
Yes. Or you're going to leave some comments for us on
Instagram, YouTube.
We're really, it's Wiley. It's past my peak hours. I'm ready for bed. You can leave your comments on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube at
Horrorwood Podcast.
Or you can be like Dawn, Colin, or Aaron and join our Patreon at
patreon.com/horrorwoodpodcast.
The thing I forget to say every episode, which used to be our usual sign off, is don't do murder and don't do, I forgot what the first story was about. Oh, don't compare babies to heroin. Don't do it.
don't get cardboard cutouts of people because they can fool you and scare you when you're least expecting it.
I did have a cardboard cutout of James Dean.
Oh, shit.
I didn't regret it.
I wanted to steal the cutouts of the Titanic characters from the movie theater, but
we're different people.
Yeah, we're different.